Well, I usually would say that Orzhov is the favorite. I think the deck's really good against the street decks, especially using Edgar. Edgar is really, really big, and it's totally what Mono Green doesn't want because your removal spell just takes some time, and the tokens make jump blocks are really, really not to what you want. But Merton is takes some pretty good games. I really like to watch him playing, and I think the a Portuguese thing that we say that the player difference can be real. So I would say that Orzhov is the favorite, but Monogram is playing pretty well. So I would respect that.
Yeah, Mertcan's doing some fine gameplay today. Also, this Untapped Forest was a huge card for Mertcan here. You can just go for Esca's Chariot, make the board real big, and it's still not on the Midhook Massacre turn. Actually, it's not seeded because I thought the Monogreen was the 8th player, so he would be on the draw against everyone. But okay,
Yeah,
maybe it's random. Yeah, this kind of surprised me here. I don't know if the
or
players
player two.
themselves. Yeah, but here we are. We're seeing the result on the draw, even if he qualified on a higher seed. And okay, the Mono Green tried to take a step back because he can set up a better attack now, but also I would try to force the trades on the past turn because that way he would play better against the Midhook Massacre. I think it's a card he has to take consideration all the time when playing against the Zorzov deck because so making the board wide and you know uh also I do think that this Blizzard Brawl is very brave here because
Yeah.
there are vanishing verse on the other side. You know the we also say here that the magic protect the Magic the Gathering itself protect the innocent people. So we're seeing Mertcan being very rewarded for not respecting the deadly dispute here, and he set up some bigger attack swings for a lot of damage. That's doors off player at 4 life. And I know Edgar is a good card, but I don't think Edgar is doing anything against this god draw of Monogreen on the play, especially. So we saw a blistering fast game here. Oda Monogreen just trampled over his bad matchup, Ruda.
Yeah. When you believe, you believe. Believe in yourself. React to everything, and that's it. You just say, okay, if you have a spot removal, this play will be bad. Okay, you don't have. If you have a massacre, this will be bad. Okay, you don't have. So that's it. Again and again, you totally rewarded, and it starts on the play too. So it's a pretty good play, pretty good. It's a nice day to Mono Green, so
A nice day to
he will
Smorg.
start.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
nice day to
A
Smorg.
nice day. Yeah. Nice day to play. Nice day to play.
And also it at least guarantees him the all sage game 3 on the play. So winning the first game is huge because it can set up Monogreen for being on the play for the third fatidic game if needed, and also sideboarded, né? Sideboarded with the cards, the right cards, the proper cards for the matchup. I do think that now with a bit more slower hands, the resolve will have some time to set up. He can have Doomscar here if things get really wide, but also if the monogreen goes slow, wedding announcement will be able to chump block forever. and those extra lanes really don't help the monogreen player here.
Yeah, I have a rule when I play Mono Ring that I don't keep a hand that doesn't have a two drop. One drop, two drop. I need some really drops because game just go really different when you don't have your early plays. So a three drop, how the first creature spell for me is really hard, and that was attack, and probably we watch some Doomscar after that. Your Praxa can just, for example, make one block, for example. What? What? Ah,
I
okay.
like this
Okay, making
play.
gameplay,
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
I like this play a lot from the Orzhov side because he can uh, he
Yeah, he can do
can
that. This is really
try
good.
to
This
pressure.
is really
But
good.
I also like the monogreen side of not dealing the shambling gets the damage. So this way he plays around getting less one, and keeps the pressure and probably I mean the new Phyrexia here, Igor chose to try to take the Ovenwald audit so he wouldn't waste the Doomscar here on just those two creatures. But by the way, Mertcan assigned the combat damage. He was able to play around that. And now we're seeing a situation where Igor is very likely forced to Doomscar anyway, because he knows that Mertcan has the Snakeskin Veil, but this natural growth was also a good draw here for Monograin. We're seeing Scar do plenty of work today with also he won both of the games for Mertcan on the past matchups for him. And also right now makes the plan to try to stabilize the board a lot harder. If he didn't have to Doomscar before, he likely has to Doomscar now, but also Merkin has a Lyre of the Hydra that wouldn't be huge of threat, so huge of a threat. But with the natural growth, it can just double its power and pressures real quick.
Yeah, yeah. By now, Lerfter Hydra is 8/8, so almost lethal. And if it draws another beast with trample, game is over. So a natural growth was a really really amazing draw from Magicon. So let's see how they will play. Last turn, not exactly last turn. I think the last before last turn. I would love to just jump block, make a two attack, and draw a card. And when he did that blocker, how strange, game me kinda out of control of him. That's it. Light of your Hydra, attacking for 8 because of natural growth. Okay, New Pyrexia has Lolith, but it is a really hard situation for the New Pyrexia player. The game was kinda easy and just become kinda strange. That's it. 8 damage, 1 life, and top draw mode is on. But oh, removal is pretty good.
Yeah, pretty tough situation, but this vanishing verse really at least makes Igor breath of relief because
I'm
he can chump
hung.
block the
Do what I
non-tramples
demand.
with the low tokens, but also he has an out for top decked Uvenwald audit, so the game keeps going. I would say it's starting to get better for Igor on his Orzhov side. But anyway, Monogreen can just draw something, or even if he doesn't draw like audits to instantly win the game, he can also draw good cards like Ranger class or Esca's Chariot and make the life real tough for mm, I also, yeah, I think I like this 4/4 because he plays around removal and also doesn't get killed. He doesn't have to Blizzard Brawl right now. It kind of forces the Resolve player to keep jump blocking. He also can't get extra value from Loaf because Loaf draw cards and makes you lose one life. So
Subservience will be rewarded.
it's a choke spot. It's weird because this Professor was a good draw because now he can try to set up. I think he plays Pest Summoning just to make sure. No, he doesn't play Pest Summoning. Plays Environmental Science, Pascal Exhibition, and Confront the Pest. So not the best cards for the situation because he would like to have Vanishing Verse open instead of going for Mascot, and he would need just some extra small bodies to keep jumping, blocking this layer of the Hydra. He doesn't have a Planeswalker on the graveyard. Uh, yeah, very tough situation here, Ruda.
I think mascots is the best draw, the best card here. Of course, you can get by now, but no, we would take some more lands. But I really like mascots because if you draw another lands, mascots can do exactly what you want because you totally close the board, and I think that's exactly what you want. What?
Go, my
Okay, good.
Yeah,
children!
he goes for life.
Okay, okay, okay.
So yeah, he goes for
Yeah, yeah.
life so he can draw from the low.
I totally
I think it's
forgot
a
to what.
fair line. Yeah, I think it's a fair line. Also,
Yes, yes, yes.
it's something like I don't think there's a big difference here from 1 to 2 to 3 life because monogreen, if it's gonna kill you, if any creature pass, since it has a natural growth and play, it will pass enough for little. And if okay, if no creature, if a trampling creature pass, I don't think it's that extra 1 life that will make the difference. And oh, well, I also like the fact that he chose to go for the draw cards here because he needs to break parity and starts to he needs to have enough creatures not to die to attacks and also starts to pressure. If I think that if there's off deck just try to defend himself, he will eventually get run over by a good draw on the monogoing side. So yeah, that's exactly what Igor is trying to figure out right now. How much he wants to spend his mana on his main phase to try to access extra cards. If he wants to activate Loth, if he wants to create extra tokens, because he could sacrifice one of the critters and generate 2 critters of launch because of the static ability, and then he has to work with hidden information. That's the kind of play that we can see that makes the
Aren't
difference
I the
from
generous one?
uh, your regular just good player and the better players, because working with hidden information in this kind of situation when we are so behind on the game or we are very close to stabilizing and needs to make sure your opponent doesn't draw that one out that saves him and kills you. It's very tough to navigate, and it's really pleasant to see how Igor is handling and working with that on these games.
Yeah, really hard situation here. The decision are really tough. But has a primary removal spell. The main range of backup, I think, is really nice too. Let's see if he
Come,
goes to
I'll
draw.
tell
We
you a
draw a
secret.
pretty good card, actually. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I think he has mana to cast it, right?
He has, but he would
But
die
he has
to
fear too.
overload it. Yeah, he can't create the angels and leave the vanishing verse. So it's weird because he knows his opponents have a snakeskin veil here, so even if he tries to play around using Wild Audit, he would still die to it because of the hexproof. So maybe playing the angels would be nice here. Yeah, I think he could have played the angels. It's weird to keep vanishing verse open when you know your opponents have the snakeskin veil.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's see what line it will be. So layer of the other here. Beginning of combat. Yeah, I will say that too. He can just exile a natural growth, and so game will become kinda closer. He has managed to activate the link, right? Yes. So is still on this game. But Emeritus Call is a really hard card to monogreen beat because on Destro, when you can destroy a creature and you're playing monogreen, your game becomes really harder. And flying creatures, as I say that before, are the wicked are
A
the
gift in
worst thing to
exchange
mono
for
green. So it's really hard to
loyalty.
beat this kind of game. So Emerald's Call is exactly what you don't want. But by now, so make this attack. It can activate the land and it's still alive. But without a natural growth combat becomes really easier to resolve. And with this combat, after that, Emerald's Call, I think the Orzhov can take this game.
Yeah, now the point is he could block. Yeah, this block is. I think both blocks are okay here because they play different. He can try to kill the lair of the Hydra after combat with +1/+1 and force the Veil, or he could just force the Veil on the Hive of the Tyrant blocking the Wolf. I guess I don't think Mertcan can hold this Veil for that much because even he draws even one
And
audit
I
here,
will cull the
uh,
weak.
he still needs to
My power is
you
for
know
annihilation.
make the damage pass through, and we know that Loaf would make four Tognus blocker, and also he has a Hive of Fight Tyrant that's no information. But also we here on the cast know that Igor has Emerius Call as another way to generate extra angels. This Blizzard Brawl is not a bad draw, but still doesn't solve Mertcan's situation here.
Yeah, it can destroy a creature, attack, make a Lerzadra and attack too. But that's exactly why love is so hard to beat to mono green if you don't doesn't have trample. Just can be shuffle block. It's forever and just lose to this to another card.
The
So
light is
love
insufferable.
now just
My
make a
will cannot
big
be denied.
uh big table, and now I think yes, he gets Emeritus Cow. Now creatures are just big, indestructible, and hard to beat in combat. So Angel's coming.
Yeah, I don't think any card can seal the deal for Mertcan here. I mean, Oddity would be a good draw. His list doesn't play Inscription, but I don't think either of these cards would really save him. So he would just try to make the board smaller, but I think he's dead on board here. He can block one. He can block the Hive of the Tyrant, and he would still take like 5, 8. Yeah, he's dead on board here.
Yeah, totally dead. And you like this line to put Darius against a monogreen deck. I know there is plenty of spells that you can attack with Darius, but you like this line?
I think it's a fair line. There are some creatures and cards that I don't think are great on the Orzhov side against monogreen, like especially the Trespasser. I don't love it on the Orzhov side against monogreen, and I do think there are some cards on monogreen side that are non-creatures and really hard for the Orzhov to do. I think the stronger threats are both Ranger class, Esca's Chariot, and sometimes a Natural Growth. Those cards are hard for the Orzhov to answer properly. And also, it's the sideboard that Igor did. He sided the Trespasser and went with extra Durises, and he didn't bring the full playset of Duris. I also like this line because it's not like he's playing a combo or control deck when you're always hitting some spells. But having some Duris on the early game or even the mid turns when you can try to snipe Snakeskin Veil or Blizzard Brow that the monogreen player is holding is a big play that can swing the game in Orzov's favor. And we saw that here on game two when the Duris was able to take the Esca's Chariot from Mertcan's hand. And also he had an easier time stabilizing for. I wouldn't say easy because he was at one life like the whole game, but one life is a lot of life still. And what I really like it about yours is when you play two, you sometimes are able to draw it on the early game, but don't get Duras flooded. Like draw two and three Duras when your opponent's already out of cards. So yeah, this is the perfect spot for me, keeping a Duras in hand. So you just try to attack the Esca's Chariot or the Ranger class, and then follow and move on with your life. Just creatures and removals and playing to the board.
Yeah, yeah, I can feel it. Well, Monogreen has kept his hands or resolve is mulligan and really hard. It's a really hard decision to mulligan, but that's it. Monogreen and Monogreen keeps again a hands with action just on turn 3, and it's kind of slow. This game we watch kind of, and that's it. This dude is looking for a ranger class probably, and it finds a Ezeka's carrot. So point to Gryffindor here. Really nice time for this card, and we have a 2 drop that can find some spells, search for lands, and help his hands. Or it's not Mulligan, but hand is going pretty well, Silish.
Yeah, on the mono green side, I think there are some matchups and situations where you can keep without the two drop. Like if you have Old Growth Troll on the play, I think it's fair to keep a hand that doesn't begins with it with one drop or two drop. And also in this matchup, in this specific matchup, I do think having the the more cards, the extra resource can end up mattering. Because I know we saw we saw game one where the Monograin just trampled over with Lots Cobra into Eska's Chariot, into a lot of creatures and going really wide, not respecting anything and getting the damage done. But also we we have this other kind of games where the monogreen can slowly get small advantage through combats, like one extra counter from ranger class here and there, one good exchange with a snakeskin veil against removal, one blizzard brow making your opponent's blocks uncomfortable. So I can see why the Monogreen is keeping a slower hand here. And okay, it kinds of play into the grind game plan of Dorzov that wants to exchange resource and get over cards with recurring traps like Edgar or wedding announcement, making extra tokens and lessons on sideboard. But I do think Monogreen can be able to play very competent grind gaming against removal and other decks trying to grind him.
Yeah, let's see how they will play here. Board is totally stalling because Monogreen doesn't have a good attack here. But more time the Orzhov takes, more time Massacre can do a big trouble here. So I think Orzhov just must hold the game because he knows about the Veil. So Massacre from 5 is the safe one, but for other sides, he could have think, well, if my opponents draw a 7 lands, so creatures will be huge. Creatures will be huge anyway if he does a massacre here because Vel just saved the beast, and if you draw lands, probably go. So I think the best line here is just make the professor and take more card advantage and wait one more turn because especially if you will confirm the cards that he could take confront, experimental size, reduce to memory. I think take reduce to memory, not to cast by now, but to cast after some protection. I think would be the best line, and I think Nuclear Access think kind of like that. So a ref here, okay. If he flips, I can next turn just kill, but of course taking some serious damage here. And just pass.
Yeah, from the Orzhov side, Ruda, I also did not love the Smithhook Massacre. I do think he could try to learn and not take that much damage, but yeah, I think he didn't have much of a choice anyway. Like now he has to go forward just to memory and deal with the Ovenwald Behemoth here. Yeah, I think it was the better play. Yeah, this way he deals with Behemoth permanently
Yeah,
and kinda of stabilize, especially with this extra land the monogreen drill right now.
yeah,
Edgar
especially if
Scouting will
Edgar.
get the job done. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Edgar is just amazing in this kind of deck. Edgar is a technology that Blood and Snow decks really love to use against aggro decks, and it's really annoying. No, same for someone who really loves to play mono green. I really hate plays against this kind of situation, and Euphraxis did exactly all that you need to know to annoy a mono green player. So now Lawless and
Darkness will swallow the
just
light.
close the
We
door
will slay our
over and
enemies.
over, and so win a game stays so far away to mono green. But anytime, oh this lens, anytime to mono green. I don't think mono green was in the best position in this meta game, and make a final is really amazing. So congratulations to Mertcan Independence. So, but these are Zov decks, man. They are really hard to monogram.
They are, and also I think the monogreen, the list from Merchant was better suited to fight the monogreen from Cardarelli because Carda did not play the Edgar. So Edgar Charmed Groom is a toe card for monogreen because both of the sides are very relevant. The 4/4 creature is able to
I
make
will
good trades
get what I
sometimes
want.
when the smaller creatures can't,
It's bold to
and
bargain with
also
me.
the lifelink chunk blockers are very relevant too. The extra life comes in handy for not being on reach for trampling damage, and also the Edgar keeps coming back and back and back, and the 4/4 pumps the tokens it creates. Here, it's just a matter of how much will. No, I actually think it's little here. He can just activate Hive of the Tyrant, and he will have to block 4/2/2, and it passed 2/4/6/7. But since he has to block two creatures, the Mythic Massacre makes your creatures deal damage when. Yeah, I think the Igor just saw this line right now. He's just going for it.
Yeah, yeah, it's totally. If he's just like a tabletop player, just put your arm on the table and turn to right. It would be just like that. Will kill sometime. We're still killing sometime, But it's a really hard. It's a hard combat to mono green. Anyway,
Yeah, just to, I will recount just to make sure we're not missing anything. If he had block, he attack everything, block Edgar, and two tokens because the 3/3 has menace, and it passed 3/5/7/9.
A gift. My
Three,
will
yeah,
cannot be
three,
denied.
5/7/9/10. Yeah, whoopsie. He goes whoopsie, but he knows
oopsie.
there's no way. Yeah, there's no way he can lose this game from this point. The better draw for
Yeah,
Mertcan would
there
be
is no
a
splinter twin
natural
here.
growth, maybe. Yeah, even a
We will
natural growth is
slay
not
our
able to
enemies.
finish the damage from here, and it's
Yeah,
definitely not a natural growth. So we have Igor Prikhodko and his Scores of Mid-Range deck as the champion of 500 cash GGtoor Standard Man Tournament in this February 5. He wins $200 for first place